Alright guys, I'm back with another video here. I just want to, first, I want to appreciate everybody for the support for the last video. Allows me to, want to make another one. So I'm just going to wrap up what I've seen in the last 3 days of play here. Key moments that stuck out to me. I'm not going to break down every single game, but I'm going to talk about things that I observe, things I don't like, things I do like, and just key moments in games that I think really define a win, define a loss, and just pivotal things. So I'm going to talk about Dignitas' first win, TSM getting trolled by Soniqs, Soniqs shouldn't have won that 7th game, and I'm going to talk about how they actually ended up winning it. So I'm going to start off right off the bat with Elusive here. You see how JL Day and Fizzle are over in this divot here next to ATC, and Dig are up top in this ridge here. So Kite ends up getting a knock on a Shinboy. The reason why this is so important is because Elusive had plenty of times to not allow Dignitas even to reach this side. They could have pushed them and cleared out their backside long time ago, and they could have held Dignitas out. But them not, and that's what's been irking me about some of the playstyles in this format. Granted, I know they're a larger team, and I think with a lot of experience in these lobbies, they will get better. Because then this is what happens. They end up getting picked apart. They end up rotating in the open to ATC and getting picked off pretty much to zone. And Dignitas end up rotating bottom left here, and then they get their first win, and I'm really happy for them. I was actually really hoping they were going to end up getting 2. It's unfortunate, but as you can see here, they end up getting picked off by ATC, but they should have pushed and held Dignitas long before that. Just little simple mistakes. Now, this is where we're going to have a hot topic, all right? This is what I think should have happened in this play now. Liberate should have won this game. TSM should have not have won. So we see here TSM is 3. It's a 4-on-3. Dash is holding this lower side ridge here. And they absolutely throw this because Ice Tech ends up rotating to this tree here. And no one pushes over top. So pretty much Ice Tech rotates here, right? And for free because TSM is all shooting him. They don't even get shot at while they're fighting Ice Tech. Why didn't Dash... Why didn't Jason and Protege smoke the front and push across while Ice Tech was rotating as a distraction, as a diversion, so they had to focus on 2 targets and then push TSM into Dash's sight line, right? Because if they're pushing over the top, they're going to have to manage their front. Ice Tech is going to be rotating to the right, and then they have Dash holding this sight line right here. They just decided to, hey, let's just send Ice Tech, rotate. He gets picked off for free. They couldn't even get an angle on these guys. So then Protege ends up rotating down to regroup with Dash and gets picked off. Look, Penta takes his spot because they're like, oh, we could just smoke it and get there for free. I think that was the better play. I'll repeat it one more time. Push over the top with Protege and Jason. Have at the same time then allow Ice Tech to rotate because they couldn't focus on the rotator while 2 are pushing across. Then that pushes them into Dash's sight line. They get picked apart. I think that was the play. See, Protege gets knocked here. TSM end up winning this game. I'm very happy for him. It's very unfortunate because I'm going to talk about Soniqs trolling them later, and it's really unfortunate. I'm kind of pissed off at you, Soniqs. Shrooms, if you're watching this, you know that was a dick move. So now I want to talk about a good push. Now, SSG crashes gas cans here, and, they end up, SSG ends up getting wiped by WILDCARD because WILDCARD reads the situation, and they go, we need to collapse on this right now, clear our backside out, something Elusive should have done before. So they poach this fight, third part of this fight, they clean up Greg Shot here. And the last one in this fight is Hikerman, who I will show up, gets cleaned up later. But the fact that they push this and they recognize the situation, that if we can clean up this fight here, this whole ridge is ours. They are aware that Black Sheep office is over to the right here, but they're not focused on them, and that's kind of an issue too. And that's kind of when I talk about why I'm piggybacking off of Dignitas and the Elusive fight, is because Black Sheep here should be aware. They should be trying to get sightlines onto this SSG wildcard fight, but they wait too long. And that's an issue with a lot of these fights, is these teams are taking too long to make decisions in why they into either crashing, getting involved, or waiting last minute. Gas cans, unfortunately, They have been waiting last minute to make a lot of decisions, a lot of pushes, a lot of rotations, and they end up getting picked off. We've seen it in the one Miramar game where they end up getting held to, I think, wild card in the zone. I want to say this game before this. This was 2 days ago. I just wanted to highlight Wildcard's fourth win, and I just want to talk about zone management, right? Look at the awareness here. Look at this in the zone here. So they know that Hikerman's the last one up. That's the issue, too, is that I'm not going to only kill Black Sheep, but Wallbang Esports rotates to get into this fight. When they see that SSG finally gets cleaned up and Gas gets cleaned up, they finally rotate to this fight. And Wildcard, they're winning that 4v3 any day. It's these little mistakes that are costing teams wins, and it's really frustrating to see because I want to see smart. That's what you love about PUBG, is that these very highly IQ plays that you're just like, wow, I wouldn't have even thought of that. And it's just the same that you're seeing teams having the ability to put themselves in winning situations, and they just don't do it. See, like, they just get picked apart here. So we're going to see, and then Wildcard end up winning this game. They end up winning in a 4v4 against Soniqs. They just clean up their whole backside. They end up cleaning Black Sheep, and Black Sheep waited too long to get involved in the fight too. So moving forward, we're going to talk about a good rotation outweighing the risks, right? The pros and the cons of rotation. That's what I'm talking about. Don't wait last minute to then get forced into a decision that you weren't really 100% sure that you wanted to make, right? You want to make the 100% correct decision that you think is the best play, right? So we see SSG down in the bottom, and Soniqs, they know that Wildcard and Ryan were fighting, and they know there's about 2 members up on each team. And guess what these teams decide to do? They decide to send it. So SSG and Soniqs crash this compound. That's a great play. Yes, that is the definition of mixy, right? That's the mixiest fight. You don't know if you're going to come out on top. But when it's the best play to make, you have to do it, and you don't hesitate. And that's kind of why I wanted to show this clip. And the reason why I say this is so important is because Orion and Wildcard get cleaned up by SSG and Soniqs here, and whoever wins this fight goes on to win the game, right? This is the most pivotal fight in this game. So Soniqs end up winning this fight against SSG and end up winning this map. And in my opinion, I don't think they should have won this. That's just another definition of like just trusting yourself. And it's getting really annoying in these fights where you guys are pro PUBG players and you are so hesitant to get into team fights, and you should be trusting your teammates and building. When you win a team fight, you build that confidence that, wow, we're the best on the map. We can destroy anyone. And that's what in this game right here where TSM absolutely trolls, well, Sonic trolls, that's what you saw. Sonics were just pushing through compound after compound and cleaning up the map. They ended up with 16 kills, and they win this game. So I wanted to talk about here, why I'm showing this clip, is because I just wanted to show Soniqs absolutely trolling here, because I believe TSM should have rotated earlier again and cleaned up Eternity in this fight. I know Vexel's in the anchoring position, so it probably definitely made it a little more difficult peeking over this ridge. I understand that. I'm not trying to be too hard on anybody in these videos. I'm sorry. But it allows H1 to come behind them and clean them up. And I fully believe that if TSM could have cleaned up this Eternity fight earlier, they would have never allowed Soniqs to be able to make this play, and then Soniqs end up going to win the map. So, and then Eternity end up getting a push into no cap. And I just wanted to highlight, because I just think teams are being decisive. Now look, H1 immediately gets out, and I'm going to pause this before we get into this clip, because I'm going to break down why Sonic should have not won this game. So I just wanted to mention on that last clip, just teams, please trust in your decision making. It's beautiful. PUBG is beautiful to watch when you can see that a team is clicking, they're firing in all cylinders, and they know what they want to do when they're approaching a situation. It's so much fun to watch. Now, before I break this clip down, I'm going to be talking about why Soniqs should not have won this game. Now, you're thinking to myself, why am I showing an E United clip? What does E United have anything to do with Soniqs? Now, actually, I'm going to show 2 clips, because Oath and E United actually allow Soniqs to win this game 7 last night, and well, get their 7th chicken dinner last night. And you're thinking, So, Corsac, I don't want to be hard on you here. If you want to talk to me and you want to message me and explain what happened here, please do, because I do not mean to be hard on you at all, because I'm so happy you guys qualified. I appreciate you guys, for clutching up. Now, what I'm going to break down is Los gets a 2-piece here, and I'm going to play it, and you're going to see what I'm talking about, and we're going to see how it all plays out. So, obviously, they're not expecting Liberate to crash here. But Los gets a 2-piece here. And it's just massive. Great 2-piece. Cleans him up. Boom, boom. He's going to get flush. He knows that. But Corsac hasn't rotated. Why didn't you push that entire time? And then the nade is off. We know there's comms. And then he decided to push. And he pushes and gets absolutely gunned. And it's like, I don't understand the decision making, because you should have pushed when he was getting the knock. The nade was off. And the reason why this fight is so important is because later we see Soniqs in a 3v2 with United. Now, Soniqs get in a fight with Eternity here. And it's important to notice that Mime gets knocked and gets res. They fight Eternity here. And the reason why I'm mentioning, because I mentioned that Soniqs are a 3v2 against United. Now, this clip, you're thinking, what does Oath have anything to do with this clip? Vexel gets in a 1v1 with H-Win right here. And guess who saves the day? Kickstart saves H-Win with 10 HP. 10 HP! Because, and you're thinking, how does that affect the play? Because what rotates right behind them? And it allows for a 4v3 fight against what? And Soniqs win that. So you're going to see here, Vexel gets to what? Oh, Kickstart kills him. Now I'm going to pause it just for a second. And I'm going to break this down again. So we have 4 members up now, right? Against 3 on what? Now, you're thinking, okay. But no, every play affects each other. Because allowing H1 to live there now, it could have been a 3-on-3 fight, right? It could have been a 3-on-3 against what? Probably no chance to get the res on the H-Win. He probably gets flushed, right? And Mime, I'm gonna let the clip play. Mime gets knocked in this clip. We're gonna see Mime go down again here, and he actually gets flushed, right? So Mime gets knocked to a nade here, and I think it's Shrimsy who ends up cleaning up this fight here. Or no, sorry, it is H-Win. So think about it. H-Win cleans up too. Imagine if he was knocked. He wouldn't have been able to do this. He was the point man in this fight. Now I'm going to pause it. So Mime gets flushed there. H1 should have been knocked. And he ends up cleaning 2 onto what? So if you really think about it, it should have been a 2v3 on what? And they could have lost that fight. But since Oath Kickstart kills Vexel in that fight, it allows for an extra member to take on this EU fight. And now I'm bringing back the E United clip. And now think here. If Corsac was alive and allowed, and flushed that Liberate team, it could have been a 3-on-3 fight here against H-Win. Or really a 3-on-2 if H-Win got flushed, right? So I'm going to play it. I just want to show the clip here on the mini-map. So you're going to see here, Tiggleton gets a knock on to, or no, it's actually, Tig. And then they clean up Waldo here. And now, I know this is all, what ifs, but think about that. Every play affects each other. If H1 goes down, if Corsac doesn't go down, these fights are a lot different. Now, last thing I want to wrap up is I want to talk about the absolutely brain blast Jimmy Neutron of a play here. So Elusive have this compound held down. And Sonics are like, where the hell do we rotate to? I don't know what to do. And I'm even thinking to myself, I was watching this like, damn, Sonics are chalked. There's no way they get out of this. But you know what they decided to do? They said, let's smoke this compound out. And my dumbass is sitting here thinking, oh, they're going to smoke out the compound and allow no sight lines to them as they crash it, right? That's what I'm thinking, because I'm not a pro player, I'm not a coach, right? So I'm thinking, wow, that's a really smart play. And I'm thinking, oh, they're still not going. So they're baiting out the utility from Elusive. Smart play, right? They're baiting out all the utility from Elusive. Look, Elusive's throwing mollies, they're throwing grenades. I think they even threw a smoke in the mix. They didn't even know what was going on, right? But look what they decide to do. They send the cars. Look, they wrap around to the compound. Even Elusive's like, what the hell's going on? They wrap around to the compound and crash this divot in the ground. making a high IQ play that some teams probably would never even thought of. Now, I want to pause it again and go back to that knock on the H1. You see he gets knocked here, right? Imagine if he wasn't up. This would be 2 members of Sonic rotating to this divot, and one would have gotten knocked. And there would only be 1 up right now. Think about how every play affects each other. Now, we're going to fast forward, and we're going to just see that H1 smokes across. He gets into a power position here. They recognize that S1, Elusive, pulls over to this, and they realize No Cap can't hold 2 fights at the same time, so they pounce. Now, I don't want to be hard on Elusive again, but I think one of their members DC'd because he just starts running across the street. But then they end up sending it to that same spot on the hill anyway, so I don't know if that was actually what they were trying to do. I don't want to be too hard on them because I already kind of killed them for the Dignitas fight earlier. But then you're going to just see here that Cap's trying to hold 2 fights, a little 2v2 on one side and a 2v2 against Sonic. H1 gets a nap. Gets the knock, and then it's pretty much, simple, history from then on out. They get their 7th win that they should not have got. I hope I broke that down well for you guys to understand that, like, every play affects each other, and if Oath doesn't get that kill on a Vexel, if Corsac doesn't choke that grenade, or that Chow onto, I don't know who that was on the Liberate team, all these fights are totally different. Now, let me know what you guys think of these videos. Let me know if you guys want me to keep, doing them. We see Soniqs here with 8 dinners, 182 kills. Oath in 2nd with 5 wins and 127 kills. It's unfortunate TSM doesn't. Did CMM qualify? Yeah, they did. They did end up qualifying for the last chance qualifier. But that last chance qualifier, let me know if you guys want me to cover it, because we have Dignitas, TSM, Space Station, Dodge, all in this, and Veritas in this last chance qualifier. Let me know if you guys want me to make a video on that. And like I said, I'm making just videos solely on things I think are key moments, bad plays, good plays that are just huge and pivotal that people may have missed, and just giving my insight on it. I appreciate the support. Let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate all the support I've been getting. All right. Thank you guys.